Hey, this is xsinick. Welcome to the xsinick show. We're gonna jump right into some game development, and yeah, we're gonna see if we could get my game back up and running. That's one of the projects that I'm working on, and we started it early this year, and we're gonna get back into the groove. Gotta clear a couple other things off my schedule, but yeah, God is good, and let's get our head together. Let's do the right thing, right? Let's see if we can use our talents to glorify the Lord Himself, and just keep things in a positive direction and use the skill and talents that we have. And one of our skills and talents is like art, or at least mine is art and storytelling. I like to do 3D design, and I think video games are cool. It could be used in a positive way for learning, for history, and also to tell a story. And that's what we're going to aim for, to put some excitement and a little bit of story. The game I'm developing is called Soul 3000. So this is me getting back into the groove of working on it. So join me for the ride. Get ready. The exercise next show is about to start. Okay, let's get right to it. Okay, guys, this is it. So this is my desktop. So the engine that we're using today is called the Godot engine. Now, I've been trying to use the Blender game engine for many years. With my brother Peter has been helping me, and he's been he's the code guy, right? So he gets in there, he codes all these fantastic things, and I just want to say, shout out to my brother Peter. He's a extremely good coder. He gets in there, he even reads white papers, if you guys know what that is, like theoretical white papers on how to do stuff in code, and he applies them to the video game. I mean, that's amazing, right? And he also could interpret code and write creative code. He understands logic. I have to shout out my brother Peter because I wish he was helping me work on this, and who knows, maybe in the future he might, and especially if I come up with some money, right? I could pay him properly. But for now, I'm going to have to wing it. So I'm not a coder, but I could look at some stuff and try to figure it out and do some tests. So you're going to go through the hard falls, that you're going to go through the trials and tribulations with me here. So I'm going to transfer the little bit of game that we have out of the Blender game engine, which is now called Up BGE, the Up Blender game engine. I'm going to use the Godot engine. Now Godot has been getting a lot of traction. I've been using it throughout the years, just kind of getting my feet wet. And we could start very simply with Godot, right? How I'm going to start with Godot, and this is, I just launched the Godot engine. I was looking at a couple of the examples here, through light and global illumination. I have a third-person camera. There's another third-person shooter here for Godot, which is pretty interesting. Another third-person controller. The reason why I'm looking through all these third-person things is because the game that we have, Sol 3000, is third-person. You could check the game out on Steam. So let me show you guys a little bit of how the game looks on Steam. And of course, I have an empty file here for Sol 3000. So let's launch Steam and let's take a look at where the game is at. Now, what you're about to see is the game in its most unfriendly form on Steam, because it's what they call an early release, right? So in living moment, if you come here on Steam, you go to Sol 3000. This is the game that we've been developing. And if you go into these different blogs that we've been doing on Steam, just do a search for Sol 3000, it'll come right up. You could download it for free and check it out on Windows. Or if you have Linux, you could use the Steam compatibility tools, right? Called Proton. You just have to right click on the thing and go properties and go compatibility and turn that on. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using compatibility tools to run my own game, right? Because we weren't able to release a Linux version because of certain technical limitations with the old Blender game engine, right? So this was developed with a very old Blender game engine, at least 10 years old. The newer Blender game engine of BG is a whole lot better, but it takes a lot of know-how, and it's a little iffy. So who knows? I mean, we may continue with it, but I'm gonna check out Godot and see how far we can get with Godot, right? And who knows? Hopefully, I could pay my brother to help me, or I could pay you if you're watching this and you're a good coder. Hey, leave me a suggestion in the suggestion box, and I'll get back at you, right? So yeah, let's check out Sol 3000 as it stands, being emulated in Steam. Okay, here we go. It's loading up. This is what I got, guys. This is how far we've reached so far with my brother Peter coding and myself. So I made all the menu stuff, so I was able to figure that out. So this is the basis of the game on Steam. Just click on that. There is sound in the game, but I'm not sure if it comes through here on Steam. We'll see. So I could do some coding. Oh, there you go. The audio works. So this is the game. So to get the stuff to work was really hard. This is a bad guy. Let's get some ammo. I guess we could continue the Blender game engine. You could kind of make something work, but yeah, you have to get these little things to power you up. Yeah, look a bad guy here. He's shooting stuff. I made a shield so you could stop the projectiles. So as simple as this game looks, it takes a lot of code, right? So to get it to actually be interactive like this. And it takes a lot of ingenuity, like thinking, and a lot of skill, right? So even though a game may look simple, it actually is not simple, and it's almost just as hard as making a complex game. So Pac-Man has some of the principles that even a very complex game has. Although like the newer complex games, like Call of Duty has way more code in there than like a Pac-Man. But all these things to be able to code these things properly, it takes a lot of brain power and a lot of understanding how to read, different codes. So we coded this using Python, because that's what the Blender game engine runs on. Now, if I could replicate this back into in Godot, then I'll be set. I'll be really happy if I could get this in Godot. So you're actually hearing like two sets of audios playing. So this is a demo you could download off of Steam, and you could check it out on your computer and play it and tell your friends and be ready for when me for when us Heavenly Form put it back out, start to do some updates. So all the we I'm trying to update a lot of the assets, because these assets were made in mind for working in the Blender game engine. No, you got to start somewhere, right? Just to have it working like this is something else, and there's a lot of things to be fixed in this. I mean, graphically, and code-wise also. So let's see if we can go to the next level. Okay, it's loading. Okay, so this is the next level. Ooh, I'm getting some scripting errors there. And it could be because of how Steam is emulating. Ooh, this is slow. So anyway, yeah, so the game is a work in progress. I think on Windows it runs a lot smoother, so this is being emulated through Steam. Okay, let's see if we can get out of here. Okay. So yeah. So guys, it's a working, in Windows it runs smoother. This is being emulated back into Linux. Although we built the game in Linux, it's a whole debacle. I don't want to get into it. So that's why we're jumping into Godot to check what Godot has. Right, so I'm looking at different examples and I'm going to try to implement them. But the first thing that we could actually do is to load levels in here and get those prepared for Godot, right? Get those prepared. I could load all the levels from Blender into here. We could load characters into here. And we could see what's going on. So let's take a look. Let's let me look at my hierarchies in here. So when you're making a game, at least when you're doing a game, one of the important things is having like proper folder structures and stuff. So let me take a look at my folder structures for this. So I'm going to Studio, Soul 2000, Blender Game Engine, Godot. Let's look. Okay, so these are my folder structures right here. It's a project, the Godot. Yep, it has all the Godot stuff in there. It's graphic assets. Okay, so let's launch that. Run. Can't run. No scene defined. Okay. And there we go. Okay, so needless to say, I'm upgrading the game. The game is going to have an upgrade from what you've seen. You know, just judging from that splash, right? So there's going to be a lot of stuff happening. All right. So if I was starting this, because I am starting at these things, you know, I think the way you're supposed to do it is that you have like the main scene and you load other scenes into that. That's how that's supposed to go. So these are 3D scene. Let's see. All right, so 3D scene says unsaved. Let's come here. Scene save as. So these are scenes, right? So we're gonna go in level. Call this level. Level assets. So let's not do that. Let's save it outside of there. Let's call this level 1. Let's load level 1. If we could get through level 1, then we know we're doing pretty good, right, guys? Level 1. Keep it simple. Save. Okay, so this is a spatial node, right? Node with all the accesses. What do I want to name this? I could put several different names. So let's start with the terrain. Or we could do a main node, right? So let's do a main node and then we're going to add other nodes onto that. So we keep everything nice and tidy. So level 1. Let's go level 1. Interesting. I'm thinking, guys. What should we call this? Level 1 main? Let's try that for now. Okie dokes. Level 1 main. Save. Alrighty. Level 1 main. We go import. Select the source file system or in the inspector to, okay, so we have to select the source file system. So let's jump into Blender, shall we? Go to the newest Blender and let's check out our scenes in here. Let's go file, let's open. Right, we're in data. Let's see if we have any bookmarks here. Recent, clear all that. Let's add a bookmark. So let's go into here, 2000. Let's just sort this like so. All right, guys. So we have work files. I think the work files is what I want to get to start loading some of this stuff in. Now I've got to think about this. So we have level design. Let's go through some of the things that I have here. Okay, so what's going on with a lot of these Blender scenes is that I have a main blend file that houses all of the levels. Now that's interesting. So I gotta reconstruct rather than constructing the levels in Blender, because I was using the Blender game engine, I gotta reconstruct the levels in Godot, right? So I'm gonna start with the work files, right? And we have levels art, levels update art. Okay, let's see. January, March, April, May, June, July, August. October. This is October 2022. Level art. Don't know what that is. Let's make this out here. Let's go levels. Okay, so here's all the levels. We have level 1, level 1 version 2. Okay, so I was apparently trying to update these levels. Level 4, 5, level 5. Okay. Yep, level 4, 5, 4, 5, 2.9. So, okay, so these were being updated. Level 1, 5. Okay, so that's interesting. So let's sort by name. Okay. Level 1 back. Okay, so we got to see level 1 version 2. Let's take a look at that. Let's see what that's about. Level 1 version 2. So it may be that I was trying to update this. Yeah, I was trying to update this one. Trying to make it better. Okay, yeah, so version 2, I took that out. I was trying to make this flat. Okay. So that's what we gotta do, guys. We gotta build the scenes back in Godot. Oh, for joy. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be an interesting. Let me put some music back on there. This is gonna be pretty interesting for the xsinick show. Right? We're gonna do a lot of this cool stuff. Okay. So we have terrain. Let's hide that. We have vegetation, hide that. Let's see the structures. These are the structures. Oops. Let's go back here. We got structures. See vegetation, terrain. Interesting. See the water. Dynamic props. What are those? Oh, props that could be moved around. Okay. Barricades. Drop. Portal door. Okay, props that should be moved. Okay. Sculpt. I guess it's sculpt for the terrain itself. Yep. Have cutters and all that sort of stuff. So this is version 2. Let's check out the original version 1. We want to build the ideal of this, right? So this don't save. Let's see 1. Let's see what 1 has. Oh yeah. Okay, this is what 1 has. So this is like the original. This is what we have in the game right now. Okay, so level 1 was kind of incomplete. So this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to work on level 1. We're going to build it back. We're going to complete it. We know what it's supposed to look like. I think I was in the middle of trying to update it. So let's continue looking through the different level 1 files. Level 1 backup. Level 1 version 2. Level 1 5. Let's see what that is. Ooh. Which one is this? This is interesting. Can't remember seeing this one. This has to be an old one. Very interesting. Yeah, this is interesting, guys. Look at this one. Okay, this may have been like an early prototype that I had. Test file, let's go open map main. Let's open some of these and really see what these are about. Map main. Let's open that one. Okay, so these are some older ones. I just kind of kept them around just in case if you need to use anything, any ideas. Okay, here we have a whole bunch of stuff. Level 1, 5, level 5. Let's see what level 5 is about. Okay, this is what we actually have in game also, guys. Yep, it's building up. Okay. So I'm thinking with Godot, we could definitely step our game up. Because I was building this for the old Blender game engine, which could barely handle any of the polygons. Even the new Blender could handle more polygons. The new Blender, or BGE, could handle more polygons. Okay. So what has to happen is, I have to rebuild the terrain in here. That's what has to happen. So let's turn all this stuff off. Excuse me. Let's look at the HD terrain. Man, what a difference, huh? Okay, what needs to happen is that we need to resculpt this and sculpt this really, really well. That's what has to happen. HD terrain have all these little stone outcrops. It has the whole texturing and all that. Yeah, so this is where things like Houdini comes into play, because Houdini does like this landscape stuff really nicely. And yeah, so I used to also do GIS in my job in architectural firm I used to work in, and there's certain GIS tools that can help you create like really work in actual real world terrain, you know, and that's something else. So we got to be really smart about how we do this one, because I really want to capture as much detail as possible. Yeah, so there's several ways you could do that, right? As you could do it mip mapping and a bunch of different things. So I have to really think about how to go about capturing the amount of detail. But the first thing is that we should be able to generate a lot of detail. And I think this has always been a challenge for people that work on this kind of stuff. Right? How to generate terrain. What's the best way? Right? Like I can do all this sculpting and then generate a map that will basically push Godot's terrain out to look like this, which may be more efficient. Right? Because I think Godot has a terrain object. So let's go back into Godot. Right? Let's see. Let's right click. Okay, so we have the main right here. Level 1 main. Go add, right? Let's just do a search. Terrain. There's no terrain object. Right, so now I think that's something you have to add, right? So let's go to script. Let's go asset library. There we go. So it's going to fill that up. So let's do a search for terrain. Let's see what kind of terrain. So this is image to terrain tool. Let's take a look. Let's click on that, see what that's about. This add-on allows you, when was this released? This add-on allows you to create terrain from an image, right? Now that's really good when you have like, when you bring in like terrain data, like geotiffs and different things. It also, it uses layers of an image and constructs the geometry using each pixel color. Currently, it supports a terrain layer and a water layer. See included images in the demo folder. The image must be in TIFF format uncompressed. Right. So as I said, you know, we could do the sculpt, we could do a sculpt, and it will like basically push the terrain up I don't know if this is what we need to help. Let's check this other tool out right here. All right, this is called height map base terrain for Godot and later. It supports collision, texture painting, coloring, holes, level of detail, and grass. Right, I think I've used this before. So let's download this. Okay, so it's saying where it's downloading all these things. Right, it's gonna put it here. Let's install that. Asset height is installed. Okay, successfully. That's okay. Terrain editor. What's this? This is a height map based terrain node for the Godot Engine 3. Based on Xavalance. Okay. Based on this. So it's the same kind of thing, right? So let's take a look at what this terrain thing does. So downloaded it in here and add-ons, right? There's an add-ons folder. So let's see what this add-ons folder is. It's right here with all my other folders. Add-on. This is terrain stuff. Okay, let's take a look. Say native shaders, tools, models. Okay, I'm wondering if there's a project in there that we could open. I think it said so. Let's see. Okay, look at this. It's showing a bunch of stuff. So I think it may be a project in here. Let's take a look. Let's jump back out to the quit to project list. So yes. All right, and we're gonna try to load that. So let's import. Let's come here. I'm not seeing anything in here. Oh no, let's get out of this. Yeah, we don't want any cussing in our music. Yeah, I don't know if there's any scenes in there. Okay, so let's cancel. Let's jump back in. Okay. Did we not save? Oh, this is level 1. Okay, there's a way to access this terrain thing if I can remember. So there's add-ons, right? So I think you may want to go into let's check product settings, plugins, come here and let's press enable. Okay, so I think the terrain button will be somewhere up here. But first of all, Okay, load that. Okay, it's loaded. Alright, so if I can remember now. Alright, so we may want to create a terrain object just to start off, right? So let's try that. Terrain. Okay, see the terrain right here. Let's go to create. Alright, so drop the terrain down in there. Let's see what it says exclamation mark. The terrain is missing data. Select the data directory. Import the data directory property in the inspector to assign it. Data directory. Okay, let's select the data directory. Let's come here. Right, I'm going to add-ons. Let's select current folder. So I think this is where it wants to store the data for creating the stuff. So let's come out of here. Let's go to the top. Let's put this in all levels assets. Select current folder. Okay, so here's where you can start painting your terrain. You know, I don't think we want to necessarily do that. See, chunk size 32. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that comes with this, right? So ideally you want to make terrain with some sort of asset. Let's check out the script on this. Initial. Get texture set. Get shader parameters. Set shader parameters. Yeah, so this stuff could get really involved. Might be the better way to do things. Let's see. Change the 3D here. Let's just play around with this for a minute. There we go. So this is already raising. Yeah, that's the raise. Rendering. You can render in low poly mode. So you can kind of see the. And there's a brush size, brush opacity is like the strength of it. Smooth. Just smooth the height down. So I don't know if we'll do this, guys. You know, this might be a little bit. Let's delete that. pretty interesting, but we will have to work on that some other time. So if you just go right here into Blender, this is the original scene. So I think what we're gonna do, you see, this is why game development is so tricky. What I'm gonna do is to start like how I have the this is the HD terrain, right? If you go to the low res terrain, right? So what I have here is it optimized and they're in chunks, right? And that's, you could export these chunks and load them into Godot. Okay, but we got to do some work, so that's why I had the high res showing. So let's see what other files you have here in Blender. There may be an updated version that I was trying to make of this. Don't save. Level 1 version 2. Let's check that out. I think I was in the middle of updating this. Let's open. Okay. Truckbox drone. Level 1 back. All these are backup files. Okay, let's see what other files we have here in our directory. This is why having a good directory kind of helps. Just go to work files, the levels. Okay. Level update art. What's this? Okay. Level 1. Okay, this is me getting into the levels and trying to see if I could do some updates. Let's open that game file, see what's up. Okay, these were some of my notes and updates. Okay, so I made some notes trying to get, yep. So definitely have to do that there. There would be a sculpture of that. 3D code, water. Let's see what we have in 3D code. So work files, 3D code, import, export, enemies, heroes, levels. Okay. So apparently I was trying to update it and put more detail in 3D code. So we haven't even jumped into getting into like importing anything to Godot yet, because you know we want to do it properly from the ground up. So we're gonna start with level 1 and jumping in here and doing stuff the right way. Let's fire up 3D code. Let's take a look. Okay. Let's go file, let's go open. Come out of here. Let's go into the sculpt room. Okay. I'm gonna go file, open. Yep. Exercise detail in studio. .3D code levels. Okay, level 1 new terrain, level 4 sculpt level. Okay, so I had the presence of mind to try to name this stuff properly. Okay, here we go, guys. There you go, guys. So this is a new updated level 1. Let's hide this poly thing.
A mask just to cover the raw flesh. A rather ugly brother with flows that's gorgeous. Drop dead joints, hit the whip.
Let's go into the paint.
His cards say all hell, barred from all bars and kicked out the carvel. Keep a cooker where the jar fell, and keep a cheap hooker that's off the hook like Marvel. Top bleeding baby fella took the loaded rod gear. Stop feeding babies colored sugar coated large squares. The ard pierce squares and God fears. Even when it's rotten, you got through the hard years. I wrote this note around New Year's, off a couple of shots and a few beers. But who cares? Enough about me. It's about the beats, not about the streets and who food he about to eat. A rhyming cannibal who's dressed to kill and cynical, whether is it animal, vegetable, or mineral. It's a miracle how he gets so lyrical and proceed to move the crowd like an old Negro spiritual. For a mill, do a commercial for Mellow Yellow. Tell them devils hell no, say y'all own jello. We hollow krills, she swallow pills. He follow flea collar $3 bills and squill for halalville. $8 bill, dig the real, it's how the big ballers deal. Twirl a L after every meal. What up? To all rappers, shut up what you shutting up and keep your shirt on, at least a button up. Y'all, rhymers are stripping nails, out of work jerks since they shut down Chippendales. With chipping nails, doom, chipping scales, let alone the pre-orders that's counted off shipping sales. This one goes out to all my people skipping bail, dipping jail, whipping tail, sipping ale, like the groovy till it flow like a ruby. After which they couldn't find the villain like Scooby. He's in the lab on some old Buddha monk shit, overproof drunk shit. Who'da thunk it? Punk try and ask why ours be better. Could be the iron mask or the Cosby sweater. Yes, you who's screwed by the dude on the CD nude. We need food.
This is my remix using MF Doom's voice. Just to see, you know. Sculpture. So if I turn the sculpt off, yeah, that's odd. I don't know what I'm seeing in here. Okay, so obviously these need to go. It's been a minute since I've done this stuff. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Okay. Get rid of that paint object. I have no idea what those things are about. Okay. Sculpt. Okay, so this was like some surface tool stuff that I had happening here. Yeah, so look at that, guys. So the first thing that we gotta do is to actually start like doing some good sculpting and that kind of thing. It's a flattened brush. Smooth brush. You could do all the art you want, but you really do need to like sit down and like code something properly. Okay, so here I am in 3D code. In 3D code, actually working on some of this stuff here. Try to get some more detail into some of these areas. Subdivide brush. Increase resolution. Let me press W for wireframe here. This is the resolution of this so far. Do have a subdivide brush. Yet again. Let's try it. Let's try to subdivide. Apply. Oh, it actually subdivides. Control Z that. Let's press W again. Let's just go to subdivide along here. You need to make this edge like really hard, I'm thinking. Let's apply some subdivisions. Now let's turn the wireframe on and see what we got. Yeah, we could go a little more subdivided in there. Subdivide one more step, apply. I think this is good, guys. Because if you look at the mountains are crazy subdivided. Go W back again. Undercuts. Ooh, that's interesting. This will try to bridge undercuts. Yep. Let's see what it does. It's pretty interesting. I think it's gonna like try to fill the undercut. Or maybe I should have saved first. Too late shall be the cry. Ooh, that's not so good. Control Z that. Let's get out of here. I think it just saved all the undercuts. That's what it did. Fill them out. Okay, we're just kind of reversing what the mess that we did there. Okay. Let's unfreeze all. Let's actually go back to the smooth brush. So we could smooth some stuff here. Just nothing that looks like it's pulling. That's a fill tool here. Something like that. So we could apply some kind of like wrap it on there. Let's apply some sort of clay on there. Trying to fill up this little hole here that was made. Okay, let's get let's see if the fill tool will do it now. Technically, you should just be able to like put clay down. Clay fast. one easy way that you can fill is by adding a primitive. That's what I should just do. Add a primitive. I'm just gonna add a primitive and fill that hole up. Basically, like adding a block of clay in there. Oh no, is there still like a hole there? We completely cover that thing up. Let's do that. There we go. No more hole, guys. Wow, that hole just didn't want to go away. Yes, let's scoot back. Oh, it's doing that thing. Let's fill up. Fill. I'm filling and smoothing, guys. I think that's a hole there. Okay, trying to get rid of that hole. Well, that's okay. Okay, we're getting kind of close there, guys. Ooh, see what's going on there. It's like a long hole. We just gotta do something like this. From the underside. So there's another hole there. Ooh, this mesh is holy. No pun intended. Oh, that's all kind of messed up. Don't know if I can fix that one. Yeah, that's all kind of messed up. Yeah, you can't fix that. Wow. Okay. Whew. Getting into something there. So the way I did this, I actually used different brushes, panels, brushes. Like these things here. Or maybe like fast clay, maybe. Brush parameters modify some items use current alphas to use brush alpha. Yep. I think the drawer is one of those. Whoa. Okay, depth, fall off, radius, steady stroke. Nope. Move stretching. Then a steady stroke off. Let's see if we get some options here. A little too flat. Okay, you get some of that texturing back in there. Not my best work, but pretty close. Okay, let's see what we got here. There's a build up button. Just looking at different things here. So extrude. Trying to see how much is subdividing. Let's go 5. We're just checking stuff through, guys. Okay, this is adding a little bit of detail to the edges here. See what this looks like. Yeah, I kind of relax some of it. Okay, so as you can see, I'm adding some sort of detail on here. Okay, guys. So we got on low. What we got? Little pokey rock sticking out. It just adds a little more detail to this thing. Let's dig into here. It cannot pass. Let's see, cross. Okay. Whew. Picking back up where we left off. And this is of course like the ZBrush red. It's another version of it. Let's go flatten. No, this flatten is pretty interesting. Oh yeah, so I think that's gonna work for us, guys. So file, save this. Okay, so we're gonna come back. We're gonna see how more we could just push this terrain into like something like as detailed as we could get it, and then load all that into Godot. All right, guys, this has been xsinick. You know, you've been watching me kind of ramp up to start to work on some of my project here. Just want to thank you for checking me out tonight, and I'll see you guys later. Have a lot of fun.